Hello, welcome back to my channel and hope everybody's well and all the rest of it. But thought we'd have a little chat about this little baby today. This is a 2 kilo powder. Now, as you all know, and you should know, I had a fire a couple of weeks ago in the workshop. I had a ride-on Ketralite. Nobody else's fault but my own, so before somebody makes a silly comment, but because it was something I weren't expecting. I'll explain about the fire quickly first, so then I'm going to tell you about this. I was about to do some welding down here, and I do say about to. The ride-on was in the garage, or the workshop doorway. It was literally hanging out the door, and as I made the first bit of contact with the welder, as I made it, I mean literally it didn't even sort of spark. As I did that, there was a woof noise, and I looked round and couldn't see nothing because it just sounded like fire, you know. And I walked round the back of the machine, and there was a little fire about the size of a 10p piece. What I stood on, thinking, oh, that's alright, put that out. And then next minute, woof, it went up. And I come back down this end with the fire extinguisher was actually sitting there where it is now. I grabbed it, pulled the pin out. The whole back of the machine was on fire at this point. The petrol tank was alight. So I just caught this with my finger actually as I pulled the pin out, and it blasted and it went out, and I thought, oh yeah, that's good. And then 2 seconds later there was this sort of mighty woof sort of noise and a roar, and the whole machine was on fire. So at 1 second, well, it was, the flames were on the floor, but they were bouncing off of the ceiling onto my head, and I'll give it another blast. It felt like ages, but I guess it was about a second, if that, and it did go, it went straight out, brilliant. So I'm just sort of trying to explain how the fire was. It was obviously a petrol fire, and it was actually caused by the fumes out the tank, because it was a hot day, and obviously the fumes are built up. I couldn't smell petrol, but then again I'm working with petrol all day, so you know, you get used to it. So yeah, so couldn't smell it. Woof, like I say, it was up in flames. Luckily I heard the woof noise, to be honest with you, because if I hadn't, that would have been a light behind me and I wouldn't have even known, you know, not with the mask down and everything else. But I just want to say how this has saved me, and it's saved me workshop, and how good it was. I mean, it's just unbelievable the force it comes out with. I was told by the bloke who gave this to me that he reckoned that if the petrol pipe came off and the petrol was running and it caught a light, you could fight it back with that, probably right back to the machine. And after using it, I have no reason not to believe that. I honestly do believe that. But so it's a brilliant thing. I can't find any particular make on it, but it does say supplied by PJ Fire Limited. So I don't know if if that's just sort of supplied by them or it's made by them, I don't know. But whatever, that's saved me workshop, saved me neck, saved me a lot of money. So what I'm showing this for is because I think there's a lot of people out there, lawn care guys and mowers and machinery, farmers obviously. I mean, farmers are pretty clued up on it, got theirs anyway. But like a lot of lawn care guys have got mowers and stuff with petrol, and they're not carrying these. I mean, it could just be as simple as filling it up with petrol. You spill petrol on it, and that catches a light. I know a lot of people say, oh, I've never had one happen, but it could happen. You know, or you could have one with a petrol pipe, and the petrol pipe goes. Ride-ons again, you've got so much dust and they're trapped in there. Obviously dust, it'll put it out as well, and it'll put fire out, you know, that's what it does. But there is, oh, there's a dog choking on a welding mask. Shouldn't be eating it, should it? So, so anyway, yeah, I just want to sort of tell people to get them, because it's opened my eyes up. I had a little 6-second one, I think it was a 0.6 of a kilo or something, and when I went to use that once before, it literally was no good, because the time you aimed it, it was run out. But this 2 kilos, perfect. It's obviously, you know, it's heavy enough, but light enough for most people to grab hold of quickly. You know, this one I was lucky enough to get given to me a few weeks earlier, so I was lucky. But you can buy these for about 19 quid, 18 quid upwards on eBay. It's like I say, it's a 2 kilo powder. But there's a few things I want to sort of say when you get yours, not to do. When you get it, it'll come in a cardboard box. They normally come in a cardboard box anyway. I would recommend you don't open it indoors or in your van. Go to your workshop or wherever you're going to put it and then open it, because, or preferably open it outside, just open it outside, because if for some reason this pin has come out, well, they're pretty stiff when they're in there, you know, before they set off. If you happen to touch this, the trigger, you would not believe the mess they make. If you didn't like somebody, you know what I'm saying, you could give them a blast with that. But yeah, so be careful. And I've seen people on other things, they take the pin out because they want it so it falls out. Well, you don't want that really, because it doesn't take that much effort to pull it out when there's a fire, you know. So, like I say, it's a mess. And there's another little thing I'm going to show you in a minute. From this dust, once you put your fire out, especially when you're in a workshop like this or whatever, or even outside, because we've been playing with this one, even outside, stay away from it once you're done. The dust, it just takes all the moisture, and it gets down your throat, and it's bloody horrible. So once your fire's out, and you know your fire's out, get away from the bit. Obviously take that with you, even so you have to go back. You can go back in, but you know what I'm saying. Stay away from the powder, because you'll find that it just goes up in the air, and it does soon take all the air out of the. You know, it's what it's meant to do, I suppose. It takes all the air away, and it's like, so it gets in your throat. But I'm going to show you a little example of some of the stuff it does after the fire. This is where the fire started, actually. Some melted plastic on the floor. And it's took the coating off the roof. But I want to show you like this. This was in the workshop. So you've still got powder there. Look, I've been sweeping this up for weeks now. But you can see it's pulled the grease out of the machine. Well, that stuff is meant to take all the moisture, so it takes the grease out. And I'll show you the battery we've got in here, what was at the other end of the workshop. Right, this is a battery what was in the workshop at the time. I think there's 4 batteries in here, but this is the only one it's done it to. It's pulled the moisture up. And it's been a few weeks, so you can see where it's soaked it up. Yeah, it's pulled the moisture, the water out of the battery. So you can imagine if you breathe that in, how it takes you, you know, like you spit it away, and it dries your throat straight away. So you don't want to be in it too long, it can't be good for you. And whatever you do, don't spray somebody with it. I think it's funny, because I've seen a lot of that, but Christ, they must really suffer. So just be a bit careful with it. Right, so my opinion is, get one. I'd definitely recommend them. You can get them anywhere. Come with a bracket as well, so you can fit them on anything you like. I've just left my bracket on there because I wanted to walk around and have it in the workshop wherever I'm working. And like I said, I did have it next to me where I was working, but it was just the fumes build up. So there's another thing that can happen, you know, in your vans. You put your mowers and that, hot mowers in your van, fumes build up. So just be careful, and I recommend you go and get a couple. I wouldn't just buy one, I'd buy a couple. One in your workshop, one in your van, or a couple in your van. So just be, you know, just be sort of safe out there and get a couple. Right, that's it for this video. Like I say, it's only a short video, so you can, like I say, I'm trying to get everybody to get them to on now. Now I've had the experience myself. Yeah, so like I say, be careful out there, and I shall see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up and all the usual sort of stuff, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now.